What's up, HRV? I'm Jake Page.
And I'm Jackie Marquez. Welcome to What's Up, our weekly show about what's going on at the high school. Stella Wag is a student here at HRV.
Stella has dyslexia, but despite her difficulty, she has become an exceptional student.
Daisy, Lisbeth, and Zach talked to Stella so she could tell us her story.
It's a type of disability. It's a way that your brain is wired, so my brain is just wired differently. I just think differently. When you look at a B or a D, I switch those, or like P and Q, and I also have a hard time differentiating between D's and T's. So like little that's like a hard word for me to spell because it has the TD type thing in it. So I was homeschooled, so I didn't learn how to read in a public school. But I remember around 3rd or 4th grade, all of my friends started to be able to read, and I was like, why can't I read? And they're all like, it's just going to click, Stella, it's just going to click. And it never clicked. I got diagnosed when I was at the end of 5th grade, and I went through lots of testing. And then I went to Portland twice a week for tutoring. So after 3 years of tutoring, that's kind of how I overcame it. So I have a 504, which is a plan that kind of lets me have some accommodations in class, so I can have longer tests. I can take as much time as I want. Teachers can't mark me down for spelling if it's like handwritten. It takes me twice as long to do everything. So I spend a lot of time doing all of my homework. And then you have to advocate. And so I really, like when beginning of the year, we have a big meeting and I meet all my teachers and I tell them, like, this is what I need from you, and they give me what I need, and I go to them during class, if I need help, and I think that's really helps me, and that's really important. I think freshman year I was definitely more timid, and I didn't really want to be like the weird one that was like listening to everything or reading into the iPad, and it just you don't want to be that person. And I think I've definitely overcome that. I think I've grown into myself more, and I'm more confident, and so I'm like, it doesn't matter what other people think. Like, this is who I am, and I need this, and I'm smart, and it's all gonna work out. You need to ask for help. Like, asking for help is not a bad thing, and once you get the help, you need to take advantage of it. There's a lot of resources on the iPad. If you can talk into your iPad instead of writing it all out, and it just makes it faster and easier, and you have to ask for those things, and you have to feel confident that you can just do them in class. And if you don't, then find a safe place where you feel like you can. Having dyslexia doesn't mean that you're stupid. It's just a different way of thinking. And there's a lot of smart people out there that have dyslexia, like Albert Einstein, and you shouldn't think of it as a disability. It can be an advantage.
I would say perseverance.
The word that I would use to describe Stella is unstoppable.
I think she just loves to learn.
I think part of this is that Stella really loves learning, and she's curious, and she wants to know about how the world works.
She works hard to overcome her disabilities. She finds ways to be successful.
She doesn't make excuses. She keeps on working. She finds ways to adapt herself. This is going to make her successful in whatever she decides to do as she goes on into the world.
We have a new vice principal here at HRV.
We sent Brisa and Adrian to find out more on Columba Jones.
Hi everyone, my name's Columba Jones. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in this area, and I decided to pursue teaching because it was something I always wanted to do growing up. That was always my answer. I want to teach. I want to be a teacher. But the interesting part is I thought I was going to teach 2nd grade. Like, that's where I was going to be, elementary. And it didn't turn out that way, and I'm super grateful that it didn't start off that way because I had the opportunity to enjoy a wide, just different experiences. So I started off going to school at Mount Hood Community College. I got my associate's degree there, and then I joined an Eastern Oregon teaching cohort where I finished up my bachelor's and then started teaching after my bachelor's. My first assignment was at Wyse Middle School. I taught 6th grade. I had my ESOL endorsement and reading endorsement, so I taught ELD and reading and language arts. And then after that, I had an awesome principal who just inspired me to pursue administration, and so I went back to school to Concordia, and that's where I took courses there to get my administrative credential. My first assignment was here as an interim vice principal when Miss Neitzel left. After that, they opened a new school across the river, intermediate school, so I was a principal for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade school. It was great, and I'm just excited that I get to come back here and be part of the high school and be part of my community. That's a super important piece for me, and it's something that I was excited to get back to.
If you weren't a vice principal, what would you be?
I think I would be a photographer, and I think it would also be really neat to fly planes, so I think I would be a pilot.
What is something you wish you would have experienced in high school?
I would say that I wish I would have been more involved with different activities and sports. It wasn't a huge part of what I did here. I came to school and it was great to hang out with friends and partake in some of the school-wide activities, but I didn't get an opportunity to really go out and try new sports or join a variety of clubs. And there's just so many things that you can try that I wish I would have done a little bit more of that.
What is the best advice you've learned?
I would say one of the quotes I keep going back to just recently, and mostly I think we started the year with this as a staff and as a building, but it really is a quote by Henry Ford, and it's whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. And what that tells me always, and I'm a firm believer in, is just the power of your mindset and you thinking just in terms of what you can achieve, and believing that is a huge predictor and of where you'll be.
What's your favorite part about being vice principal?
I would say my favorite part is being present in classrooms and being part of the activities that you're learning or the just experiences you're having in the classroom. You've got a really great group of talented teachers, and just the way that they get you to interact with different content is really interesting for me to see. And also just getting to learn about career paths and choices and different long-term plans that you young adults have is interesting. It's great.
That's our show for the week. Thanks for watching.
We'll leave you with some photos of cute dogs of HRV students.
Come back next week and we'll tell you
What's up?
Thank you.